Well, good morning. Happy Friday, TGIF. Welcome back to Home Life with Rebecca. I was just sitting down at my desk. The kids are all off at school. 3 still home. The older ones are home. I was just looking at my calendar. I just was trying to fill out for the month of April. I'm a little behind. I'm looking at my Happy Planner right now. I probably won't buy one of these next year because I think I finally found my niche with the Hobonichi. I do like the Happy Planners with the decorating and being able to tear the pages out. So I don't know, maybe I'll buy one. I'm not really sure because I am still kind of using it. But I really have found my niche with the Hobonichi. I like that thing so much. But I went and saw the rheumatologist back in February 20th, and I'd waited 2 years for this appointment. And he was super nice. And he was telling me that he was leaving the clinic, gave me his email address, said that he couldn't really divulge too much information about where he was going because of legality reasons. But he said, I'll put it this way, me and my family really like this area. So, I mean, you shouldn't assume, but I did. I assumed when he said that, he was trying to say that he's not leaving the area, which to me, I thought he meant where we live. Now, eastern Idaho is fairly big, so I didn't think of the whole area, but I, emailed him 3 weeks ago and, said who I was and that I hadn't heard back about. They took 14 vials of blood and that I hadn't heard anything back about my test results. So I was curious. And it took a couple days, but he did email me back and said, this was on a Wednesday, said he would have my results or give me a call by Thursday or Friday at the latest. And that in 2 weeks, he could let me know where he was going. So I was like, okay. So I waited 2 days, nothing. Waited a week, nothing. So I emailed him back and said, sorry to bother you again. Just wanting to know if I need to call. Or I said, I'm just following up. That's what I said. And he did email me back a couple days later. And he said, yes, I haven't forgotten. Give me a couple more days. Well, another week went by. And another week. So we're in 3 weeks now. He wrote me back on Monday. And because I wrote him again and said, should I just call the place where I went to? I just want to know what my results are so I can move forward. Because he even prescribed me medication that I've been taking that hasn't done anything except make me tired. But he did tell me a lot of times medicine for autoimmune like lupus and stuff can take up to 6 weeks to really feel the full effects and maybe a couple months to feel like they're working. So we're at a couple months now. I don't feel anything. So anyways, he said, I'm so sorry, it's been kind of crazy, but I've got my new website loaded. So I'm assuming that he's totally left where he was. And so I was like, okay. And he said, I will call you tomorrow with your results. Well, that was Monday. I've still not heard from the man. But I did click on his website and I was like, okay. Because I did ask him when I saw him if he would take, I'm on Medicaid, which is like the state insurance. I did ask him if he knew if he was going to be taking Medicaid, and he didn't say yes or no. So I figured probably legality reasons he couldn't tell me. But I was hoping that he would. Anyways, clicked on his website and they don't take Medicaid. It's not an option. So there's that. And also, he's not in this area. He's about an hour and 15 minutes away, an hour and a half away from this area, which if he took Medicaid would be better than driving all the way to Salt Lake City, which is 4 hours away. But it doesn't look like he takes Medicaid. So I'm back at square one. I called the place where I initially went and asked them, is there somebody that can just go over my results with me? And they're like, well, his PA is still working here, but they're booked out a couple months. Okay. I just want some answers, So she said I could come request my medical records. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to read that. I don't know how to read my lab results. And she's like, well, you can pick him up and take him to your primary care provider. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in there today and pick them up. But I had my calendar open because I was trying to see, if they gave me an appointment. But I don't want to wait a couple months just to get my lab results read. So I'm just going to go pick them up, take them to my primary care. And who knows, maybe Dr. Gibson will still call me and at least go over my results with me. And maybe he'll call me this week and I won't have to make an appointment. But I'm just frustrated. So today I'm taking Adam in like 2 minutes. He's off from work today. He's got to get a nerve blocker. The foot that he didn't crush in his accident like 4 years ago, which is, why he got the spine stimulator. It caused that central regional pain syndrome. Well, his other foot looks the same as the one that got crushed, even though he didn't injure it. And so they don't know why. So if it's nerve related and he gets the nerve blocker and it feels better right away, that's probably connected to the regional pain syndrome. If it's not, then it's joint related, which could be like an autoimmune. So he did have some blood tests done, and his ANA levels came back high also. But because he has school insurance, he has more choices. So he already has. I'm a little bit jealous, I'm not gonna lie. He already has an appointment with a rheumatologist next month. Actually this month, at the end of this month. I think it's on the 28th. And I mean, I don't want either of us to have anything wrong, but it's just frustrating because he can't afford to put me on his insurance through work, because it'd be like, to put me and the kids, it would be like his whole paycheck. I was going to ask him, I wonder if he could just put me on it. I don't even know if that's a thing or if that would still take too much of his paycheck. But I'm frustrated because I waited 2 years to get in with this doctor because there was just no rheumatologist in this area. He was the only one, and he took Medicaid. I guess there is another one, but everything I've heard about this guy is he has horrible bedside manners. Like, all of my med management, my primary doctor, they're all like, the guy that looks at my hand, if you don't have to, don't go see this guy. But it's looking like that's maybe the route I have to go, and that's still like half an hour away from where we live, which is just really inconvenient because all of my other kids' appointments and stuff. I'm just really frustrated right now. But at least I was going to pick up my medical records, and hopefully if I don't hear from Dr. Gibson, I'll give it till Tuesday. I'll go ahead and make an appointment with my primary care doctor to see if they can at least tell me what my results are so I can go from there. I don't know, it's just frustrating, but I'm going to go take Adam to get his nerve blocker. Part of me is hoping kind of that's what it is, because he's been in so much pain. Like, he's like limping. I don't even know how he's still working. And I'm like, you might not be able to work 2 more jobs this summer. It's just getting ridiculous. I really need to go back to work, I think, when the kids go back to school. But I don't know. He did break the foot back in 2000. He was trying to help a friend who was drinking, and the friend was really, really like drunk, and they went to step off like a curb, and the guy stepped on the inside of Adam's ankle and snapped it. So he ended up this is back in like 2000, 2001. Might have even been 2002. He had to have surgery on his ankle, and so they had to hold it together with like screws and like a metal plate or a rod. And when he went and had x-rays for this foot, because they're like, he didn't hurt it. Like, he's like, I didn't fall. I didn't, twist my ankle. Like, and it's like the top where his toes are looks the same as his other foot that got crushed, which makes me think it's the nerve thing, because with the central regional pain thing, it will make your other joints, or even the joint that is affected, think that it's hurt. Or it could be like autoimmune related with the joints, which is, not good either. But there is this slight possibility. When they did take the x-rays, they noticed that one of the screws had come loose and was just kind of floating around his foot. And they said usually that doesn't cause any damage. Like, they're having a podiatrist. Is that the name of a foot doctor? Podiatrist. They're going to have a podiatrist look at it later this month. and they'll be able to tell. But if it is hitting a nerve, that could be causing his toes and his foot to swell and have pain. So if it's something like that, then unfortunately he'll have to have surgery because they'll have to go in there and get it out. So I don't know. On one hand, I kind of hope it is that, because then he's not having to go back and get nerve blockers and it's not autoimmune related, but his ANA levels are high like mine, so he probably does have something. But I just thought I'd come on here and share with you because I'm just so extremely frustrated. And I mean, I'm glad my husband's getting obviously the medical help that he needs, but I don't know, I just feel like for some reason anything that has to do with my health I've always struggled with since I was like, pretty much since I've been out on my own. Like, it always gets like thrown into like the cracks of the system. I don't know, like forgotten. And then I start to feel like I'm a hypochondriac or something. Like, okay, it's in my head. Maybe it's not important. Maybe it's just stress related, which I mean, it could be stress related. Maybe I got a false positive with my ANA levels. Like, you know, then I've got my husband who's got all these things wrong that are really apparent. Like, when you look at him, like, you can see the things wrong. Like, but with me, nothing. Like, last May, I had horrible pains in my stomach, which I still get sometimes. And sometimes, like, when I'm, like, put my arms up over my head, it feels like something's, like, pulling. Like, there's an alien. Or kind of reminds me, like, when I would be, like, 8 months pregnant and you're running out of room and the baby would, like, kick and it would be really uncomfortable. That's what I feel like sometimes. And I couldn't sleep at night. Like, last May was the worst it had ever been. And I literally had an ultrasound done on me for 2 hours. And they're like, we don't see anything. Like, nothing. And I was just like, okay. And the pain did subside, but every now and then if I stretch a certain way or if I lay a certain way too long, it comes back, and I'm 98% sure it's probably my scar tissue from all my C-sections. But I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm overreacting because they never can find anything. They're like, you're fine. Or even when I went in, because I still keep losing my voice, and they're like, oh, that could be autoimmune. That's what Dr. Gibson told me. Like, sometimes like lupus will affect your lungs. I still can't sing. Like, every time I try to sing or practice, I lose my voice. Or if I talk too much, my voice will go. Like, not completely gone, but it'll start sounding, well, you guys can hear it in the vlog, so I think you know what I'm talking about. It'll just start sounding different. But when I went to my primary care, and they gave me the breathing treatments and stuff, but they're like, your lungs are clear, like nothing there, you don't even need x-rays. But yeah, I struggle. So I don't know, like with Adam, when he goes in, there's stuff visibly wrong. Like, you can visibly see it. And so I feel like, and probably because he has better insurance, they are faster at like getting him referred and letting him see people. But then Adam, my husband, will get mad at me because he's like, you're not being pushy enough, you're not calling enough. And I'm just, he's saying you need to be an advocate for yourself. And I understand that. That's never been my personality unless it's like for my kids. But for myself, I've always put myself on the back burner. So I always feel like, even with Dr. Gibson, just emailing him, like, I felt like I was bugging him. Like, oh, he's got all this going on, switching practices. But Adam's right. Like, I waited 2 years to see the guy. He keeps telling me, oh, I'll call you the next day, and then I don't hear anything. And it's like frustrating because I just want to know what my stinking results are. If there's nothing wrong with me, then okay, cool. Then it's probably stress and I can move on. But I'm going to cry because I'm frustrated. And I don't know, I have anybody to talk to. I mean, I talked to my husband, but then he kind of gets like irritated with me because he's like, did you call? Did you call? Did you call? Like, you need to push, let me do it. And I don't know. Anyway, I better get off this thing and go take him to his thing. He won't be able to drive afterwards or probably move very well the rest of the day. That's why he had to take a sick day. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I guess I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.